Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this podcast. My name's Cademan David. You're probably watching this on the Eccentric Academy YouTube channel. This is that's my project. You're probably watching it here. And this is a show where we're rewatching Arrowverse shows. Yep. What's your name?
Justin Amell.
This is the second time I'm doing this intro because I bumped my computer and the record stopped. And
so hopefully it works out.
So if you're noticing a bit of a weird chaotic energy, it's just because I'm saying it a second time.
Right.
And when I have to say things a second time, I get weird and chaotic. But yeah, so we're gonna start by talking about the things we liked about the pilot episode first.
Of Arrow,
yes. Not Flash. He doesn't come until I think season 3 of Arrow.
Right.
So it will be interesting when we have multiple shows going at the same time.
That will be interesting.
But yeah, we're trying to do this sort of like chronologically, or like I don't know if there's any shows that like take place in the past, but sort of as they come out is sort of what we're thinking.
As close as we can.
Yeah. So before we get started, I just want to say that I loved the Arrowverse when I was 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm 23 now. So it's been a little while since I've engaged with the Arrowverse, particularly these very first episodes of Arrow. I have not seen, I think I did watch the first episode like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly this first season, haven't seen since I was 13. It's going to be so much fun rewatching. You've never seen Arrow, right?
Yeah, I've only seen episodes here and there, not in order.
So, but you're a big Flash guy. You've seen the entire Flash show.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be interesting. I thought about this.
Yeah.
When they introduced Diggle, I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he kind of knows who that is.
Oh, yeah.
And who he becomes. So it's kind of interesting. It will be interesting too.
He actually shows up in the Flash a lot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's probably my favorite character in the Arrowverse. I named my dog after him.
Oh yeah, really?
So yeah,
he's a cool character.
So yeah. Anyway, all that being said, do you want to jump right in? We'll talk about what we like.
Stuff we like. Okay. Well, again, I have I've only watched The Flash. I've never watched Arrow. So this is kind of a new experience for me.
Right.
I remember though, my younger brother really likes the Arrow. He speaks super highly of it, and he watched The Flash with me. So I've seen like one of these episodes. There's a second one, but I kind of remember bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
So now it's really nice seeing it actually in full context.
Yeah.
Because it starts off a lot differently than Flash does.
Yeah.
Something I really, really liked about it is how he is narrating in it at the beginning. Like they'll be he'll be like talking through a few of the things he's doing. Being that it was CW's first show, in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
I think it was a really unique, interesting way to start it off. And I love the idea of the flashbacks. I really like how they don't come off the bat telling you what happened to him on the island. Like the first season isn't about him escaping the island. It's about him getting back into civilization.
Right.
And so now, even still, we don't know the full context of what happened on the island.
I do have a note here that I think will lead to touching on that a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you bring that up.
Right.
So my first note of things I like.
Yeah.
Walter Steele.
Okay.
Something about British people is just very charming to me.
Yeah.
And I like his character. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was my first thing I sort of took note of, where I was like, I love Walter Steele. They sort of, a little bit of spoilers, they sort of write him off pretty early on.
Yeah.
So he's not actually in that many episodes. But I saw him and I was like, hey!
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that is the fun part. I really liked. Well, the casting choices all seem very, they seem pretty good. Something I noticed though is I was like I mentioned to you, I'm going through Supernatural right now, and Laura Lance, she's in Supernatural,
Yeah,
and I was
she's
like,
the
I've seen
demon.
the actor before. I was like, that's
Yeah.
who she is.
I also actually, when she showed up the first time, I was like, oh hey, I wonder if he's gonna recognize her from Supernatural.
Right.
Because as soon as I watched Supernatural,
Right.
much later than I watched Arrow,
Yeah.
so as soon as I saw her show up, I was like, oh hey, it's Laurel.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But really, I think it was just a really good solid start. I mean, CW, like with the Flashes, started off really well as well.
Yeah.
So I figured it would. It was just a unique, clean start.
Yeah.
I love the trauma aspect that you see in the first one a little bit. They didn't overdo it. Right. There's definitely some things was like sleeping under the window.
Oh yeah.
The window open. That was really, really cool scene.
Right. And then attacking his mom.
Right. That just makes a lot of sense. It also makes a lot of sense to me about how his mom married what was he?
Walter Steele.
Yeah. Right.
The like second command of Queen Industries.
Yeah, I like how he's like disapproves of that instantaneously. I mean, that just makes sense in general.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't take note of this, but something that is kind of fun in these early episodes is like there's no secrets from Oliver, right? Yeah. Like he knows everything. He knows about Walter and his mom. He knows about Laurel and Tommy. Right. He knows that his little sister's like doing drugs and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the next thing I have, and this is what I teased earlier. Tommy Merlin. First off, I just like the character. I think he's fun.
Great character.
But when he's like catching up Oliver with like everything that has happened since he's been on the island, essentially, he mentions the show Lost. Do you know anything about the show Lost?
Not really. No,
okay.
Not a ton.
So I think in a lot of ways, this show is like sort of a spiritual successor to Lost.
Oh, is that the show where everyone gets stranded on the island?
Yeah.
I know a little bit about it.
Yeah. So the flashback method of storytelling that we see in Arrow is basically just the flip around of Lost.
Okay.
Where in Lost, you see flashbacks to before everyone was on the island. In the present day story is on the island.
Yes, I see.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Lost is a pretty fun show. They aren't dead the entire time, like Tommy proposes. That's a big pet peeve. You'll see that a lot on the internet, is people saying they're dead the entire time. It's not. It's much more complicated than that. But I think them mentioning it was sort of like their way of being like, oh yeah, we know this is a similar show. We were inspired by that show.
Right.
So that's kind of what I think. Yeah. So do you have anything else?
No, that's it. What about you? What about yourself?
Myself, on my next note of a thing I like.
Of a thing you like, yes.
So Speedy.
Okay.
I did not realize this the first time around.
Yeah.
But of course, in the comic books, Green Arrow's sidekick is named Speedy.
Yes.
Right. That's where the nickname comes from. The line of Oliver being like, maybe it's still a good nickname, is because she does speed.
Yes.
Right. So it's a funny
I didn't
gag.
recognize that actually.
Yeah. So really because he walks in and they're like doing drugs, he calls her Speedy. And he's like, oh, it was a good name when you were a kid. Maybe it's still a good name.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Which is pretty funny. So then, do you have anything else, or should I just sort of like go through these? Okay. Diggle, right? Great. We talked about him. Fantastic. Favorite character, named my dog after him.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, then I have not a whole lot to say on this, but the Arrow Cave, like that set
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah, I know.
I really like it.
It's so cool.
Imagine we're doing this in like 2 years, right?
Right.
And everyone loves it, and we make a lot of money. Imagine us recording in an Arrow Cave set.
Oh,
right?
that would be so cool.
And then
we could totally do that.
I mean,
That'd be hype.
not currently, probably. We could possibly rig up a green screen, but it wouldn't be quite as fun.
Yeah, that's true.
And then like when we do Flash, like we could do like a Star Lab set.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
It would be so much fun. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I just like the Arrow Cave.
It is pretty cool.
Like when I was a teenager, right? The entirety of when I was a teenager, really. Well, not towards the end. But I really liked this show, so there's something about just like rewatching it that's just like nostalgia.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I think
I've never seen it, so that's a little different for me.
Yeah. But I think that's what's going to be so interesting about going back is that like for me, I'm like, just takes me back to that time. Right. And then you have also an interesting perspective, like knowing a lot about the other half of the Arrowverse.
Right. Yes.
So,
different section of it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting sort of dynamic where it's like, I watched like up until I think season 6 of Arrow, and maybe season 5 of Flash. I don't remember. I watched a lot of Legends of Tomorrow, but I did not enjoy most of it. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, it will be interesting if we get to Legends.
Yes.
Because every episode will just end up probably being me complaining the entire time.
Nice,
or maybe I'll step back in and be like, oh, actually, I was too hard on this when I watched it the first time.
Right.
So, the next thing I have is, I have stealing drugs on here. Do you know what that could refer to in episode 1?
Possibly. What is it?
He takes Thea's drugs.
Oh, right. And he throws it away.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. And that's like, I think part of the fun of Arrow is that it has fun.
Oh, yes.
Right? And like it's not trying to be too realistic. Yes. So like you can have like just very Batman-esque moments where like, he just like bumps into someone, pickpockets them. Stealing drugs is kind of an example of that.
I would say that this is another thing I like. They have a good balance between realistic and not realistic.
Yeah.
Like you just said, they're not like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. They're trying to make everything hyper realistic.
Right.
And so when there's something that's not really that realistic, it can be picked out and be like, oh, well, that's not actually how it works.
That is very true.
There's some things about it that are like, okay, well, he just has this plant that like kills him from everything, right? But like that's not an absurd idea, right? It's a mythical plant that people don't know much about, right? And they just have this good balance between like it's serious and like realistic to like obviously he wouldn't be able to do this or survive that.
And that's actually the perfect transition to the next thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Where it's I wrote Dad Gun. But I referred to the moment of his dad shooting the other guy on the raft and then shooting himself. I think this is a good dark moment, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. A lot of modern shows try really hard to do like really dark, but it's not like they just make very bleak shows and then you walk away from it having no fun,
Right.
And I sort of like this, or again back to Supernatural, like that also does like darker stories really well, particularly in the earlier episodes. Yeah. So I liked that moment. I thought was a good dark moment, right? And I like the balance of dark and light in this early season.
For sure.
I think that's cool. where it's like, it's like a little bit edgy, but it's soft enough that you won't hurt yourself.
Right.
It's sort of
Agreed.
like the NF of TV shows,
Yes.
right? Because NF is like a little bit edgy, but it's like it's not like he's Eminem. He's not like swearing or singing about murdering his wife or something.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
one more thing on Diggle, actually, that I just thought about.
Yes.
Is something I love right off the bat with this show is how is Diggle and Oliver Queen's relationship and how he's always like leaving him behind, getting him in trouble.
Yeah.
Like no matter what Diggle does, he's trying to like keep him safe and protect him like a natural, normal security guard would do. And trying all the normal, regular methods, but just Oliver Queen's just like hiding, trying to run out. This whole relationship. I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, and I think I'm not spoiling anything because again, sort of like where his character ends up.
Yeah.
But when the dynamic changes, to where they're like sort of like more like warrior brothers,
right,
is sort of what evolves into.
Yeah.
They still have a really good dynamic.
Yes.
So, and that's something I appreciate is that in the beginning, like him like sort of running away from Diggle, that's all really fun.
Right.
But then where it goes is also like another really fun dynamic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so that's all I have on my good section. Do you want to move on to the things we don't like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't have that many things I disliked.
Okay.
I was, some people have interesting views about the CW universe.
Yeah.
And so I expected coming into the show that would be good, okay.
Yeah.
Because like Arrow's never really been my favorite character. Like I'm a Flash guy.
Sure.
So when Arrow comes in, it's like basically everything about Arrow is like the opposite, almost a Flash, right? But I was really shocked by how much I really liked it. Of course, there's still a few things, but like I'm shocked that I only had like one or two things to point out.
Yeah.
Something I found interesting that was a little bit negative is that I feel like in the first two episodes, especially maybe more of the second one, but in the first one as well, the choreography for some of the fights are fantastic, like really fast, really good, like seem very natural. And then the other half of them just seem very like staged or very like heavy-footed almost, or like he's stepping here, and then he's stepping here. It seems very staged. And so it's weird for me because it's like, did they have multiple like fight coordinators or
well, I think
it seems very unbalanced.
Knowing a little bit of like behind the scenes of how a lot of these shows are made, I think probably a lot of the fights are like filmed much further in advance. There's like much more thought put in, but because like a lot of these shows end up largely being like, because like I look at TV shows, right, and I think, oh, they film a season and then release it one episode at a time.
Yeah,
it's very rare. I mean, now it's pretty common.
Yeah.
But like actually on TV before streaming, it's very rare to finish a season before first episode goes up.
True.
So a lot of times they're sort of reaching to throw things out there, and that may be some of the less good like fight scenes were like sort of an afterthought, or they were like, oh, we need to put this in here, hurry, call up Stephen Amell's stuntman. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but it was just something where it's like a little weird for me.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff in the Flash that's also like that too. It's like something super good, and then the other one's like not awful, but it's like it's not as good because I know it could be better.
And that's like something I think about almost every CW show. Is I'm like, how can they do such good storytelling and such bad storytelling all at once, right? If you ever watch Smallville, that's a prime example of like, they hit the mark exactly 50% of the time, and then the other 50 are just like really bad.
There's not a lot of neutral stuff for CW.
The one exception is the first several seasons of Supernatural.
Okay.
Right? I know this is a Supernatural podcast.
Right.
So that would be fun. But the first season I think holds up a lot better than any other CW show I've rewatched. The
Okay, that's fair.
first,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair. I could agree with that.
where it's like this one, I like it. Supernatural, I rewatched it, I think like 4 or 5 times now, and
Okay.
never stopped liking it. So,
Right.
um,
It's a solid show.
yeah.
It's a solid show.
Um, so here and the things I don't like.
Okay.
And this is an odd one, but it is Riza. Anyway, this character is the Queen family's maid
Oh
from
right.
episode 1. So
Ooh, that's interesting.
I don't hate that character.
Okay.
What I hate is that she is only in episode 1. So it's
Okay.
like they
That's
filmed
fair.
the
That's fair.
pilot and realized there was too many characters, or like I don't know what her story is, but she never shows up again in the show.
Oh, she doesn't.
No.
That makes sense. She's also not in
Yeah.
the third episode.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
that is
and like that's
stand out.
something that, like, you know, you don't really think about watching through it the first time.
But it doesn't really make sense.
Right. Yeah, but then you go back and you're like, why did they never, like, what is the point of this character? I maybe sometime I'll look into why they never had her in the show again.
Okay.
Yeah. But my guess it was,
Interesting.
you know, usually a lot of things kind of change in between the pilot and episode 2.
Right.
Because, like, that's when the show gets greenlit and they really start sort of figuring stuff out.
Yeah, I could see that.
So my guess is, like, she just sort of got cut in, like, that in between stage there.
Oh, that's another thing I disliked too.
Mm.
In episode 1 and 2, and a lot of my complaints are similar for both episodes.
Yeah.
You see all these other rich people. I'm forgetting their names, but you know, they're rich, evil people, right?
Right.
They have these huge security teams, all this stuff. It feels like, though, the Queen family is just like living a normal life in a mansion. Like, I've never seen any security guards. I've never seen any security deals.
Right.
And this really makes sense because they're in an equal par with most of the other villains or minor villains in this show.
Yeah.
And so it feels like it's just like, oh, we're just a happy little family doing our thing, living in this house.
Aside from Diggle.
Right, aside from Diggle, but that's for Oliver Queen. And that's only because he got kidnapped in the first episode.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense that they're just like...
Well, I guess, like, my one sort of defense of that would be that usually when you see, like, the, you know, like, the bad rich guy of the episode, he's at his workplace.
Okay.
So, like, you could say maybe it's possible that, like, these guys would have less security and stuff when they go back to their homes.
Yes.
But I think also realistically, you are that like sort of prominent.
Right.
You probably have more security.
For sure.
So yeah, my next thing, sort of going along with the last one, is he speaks Russian to the maid.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know they just want to sort of bring up that he's, like, bilingual now.
Okay. Yeah.
But he didn't have to do it, right? He's sort of trying to play, oh, I was on this island by myself. There was no way that I could have, like, learned another language, but then he just speaks Russian in front of the family.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's a little bit weird. And it's like, it's not a big offense, but
it is, like, it was not really necessary.
Right. Yeah.
Necessary.
Yeah. Where it's just like, you know, like, I think realistically he would have just spoken English.
True.
But so there's that. You have anything else?
Not really, no.
Okay. So my next thing is Red Skull. The like plastic Red Skull mask guys that kidnap him in the beginning.
Yeah. Is this a complaint?
This is a complaint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So they just felt very like sort of cheap CW, like, we need you know, like, we just need some villains, so just, like, grab some red plastic masks, which I know, like, they didn't They just didn't seem like an actual threat. They seemed like some children that like put on masks.
Weren't they not supposed to be a threat? Because they were never intended to kill Oliver Queen, because they were hired by his mom, right?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, in the
first episode. Goodness, did I miss that?
Well, in that episode, they say there's other ways. At the end, there's other ways to get him to tell what happened.
Gotcha. So yeah. No. You're right. And so you are right. Point is,
they're gonna pretend like they might have killed his friend. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't have if they needed to. Like the point was like they weren't actually gonna kill him. They were just pretending like right. Because she doesn't.
Well, and I think sort of my complaint is that like just putting them in ski masks.
Yeah.
And like having the guy like not. And then because like he played it where he was like, oh, I'm like he was like trying to do a bit of a Joker.
Yeah.
There. And I was like, yeah, this doesn't seem like a threatening guy. This seems like.
You brought up a good point, actually. There was one complaint that I had that I forgot about actually in the first episode. When they do get kidnapped and Oliver gets out and starts fighting them. Okay, whatever. There's two complaints I have about this one scene. This is a fight scene that I was like, what the heck just happened?
Okay.
He gets up and he's starting to fight them. And there's a guy you can see on the screen standing there with a gun in the corner. He doesn't use it. And as soon as Oliver faces them, then he tries to use it.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense to me. Well, they're obviously not supposed to hurt Oliver Queen. But they're also getting their butts whooped.
Right.
And he's not holding back on them. So if I'm a guy, whether I'm trained or not, as soon as he breaks free and he literally shows his hands, I'm open firing. That doesn't make sense that he's just standing there.
Well, right? And it's also like this is really a critique of television as a whole.
Yeah.
Because the problem with guns is they make fight scenes very short.
Right.
If you actually use them.
Right. And the other complaint was he starts chasing the one last guy, right?
Yeah.
And this is where I agree with you in the fact that Oliver's chasing him through the warehouse, right? And the guy jumps up onto a storage container, rips off his mask, throws it, and then keeps on running. And it's like, there's two major complaints of this. One, when you're running away, trying to save your life, right? You're not worried about taking your mask off, right? And two, why would you do that? Like, it just doesn't make any logical sense.
I guess,
I think they just wanted to imply.
Maybe they, like...
That he was just a normal guy or a crook or something.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense that you would do that because he's still chasing you and now he knows what you look like. And then, you know...
Well,
criminals don't do that.
I mean, I think probably the idea is that, like, he's having trouble breathing.
Maybe.
So he removes the mask. But those masks were made out of, like, the thinnest plastic.
Yeah, ever.
So, overall, like, just their entire performance, like, the main guy who talked to him.
Right.
Like...
was kind of...
it was just... It felt very meh. And, like... like just the like you know, like plastic mask, the like sort of way he talked just all felt very like B movie or like some stuff I might see in like worse CW shows like Riverdale or something. That was something I thought about is I'm like, this kind of seems like it would be something that would happen in Riverdale.
It's amazing though.
Yeah.
When you realize how many shows CW's made that like are like popular, like those kind of shows. I'm like, oh, that's a CW show?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my complaint about the Red Skull mask. This next one, much like the talking the speaking Russian or like the maid there. There's a scene when he's like at the celebration for like Oliver being back, and Oliver has to leave to go do his Green Arrow things,
right?
Where he just attacks Diggle.
And then they never bring that back.
And they never bring it back up.
Yeah, I agree.
But there is one thing that sort of redeems this, and that's that I have the DVD. Which means I have deleted scenes.
Okay.
So there's a deleted scene where Oliver explains it as like someone else attacked him and then like he paid the guy off, basically. So it's basically like he tries to play it off like it wasn't him who was
That makes
attacking
sense,
Diggle
but
in
why
that
would you not
moment.
put that in there? Because in the show, it
Right.
just implies that it never happens. It's like
yeah, and it's
then,
weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
My guess is
I don't
it
even
was
like that they
just a
included that
time
at all.
thing,
Right?
where they cut it out because they had to fit so much in.
I feel
the
like
episode.
they could have made him get away a different way. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense, and it was just kind of like out
Right.
of character. Because like, whoa, like he's trying to hide his identity
Mhm.
here, and if anyone's gonna figure it out, it's gonna be Diggle.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I remember because when I was first watching through this, I was watching through it with my older brother,
Yeah.
who had seen it as it was coming out. And he was like, "Oh," like at that moment, he was like, "Oh, how does he play that off? Like, I don't remember that at all." And then we watched the deleted scenes after every episode, so we're like, "Oh, there it is. They took out the scene where they sort of explain it." Yeah.
Well, I guess another complaint with this first episode.
Yeah.
I loved when they found him on the island, how he looks like Green Arrow from the comics with the long beard and everything. I loved that. And then when he shaves it off, it's like, I understand. Because, like, tactically, if you had a beard like that, that'll be recognizable.
Right.
But it's so sad now that he's like the Arrow in this first episode. Like, he just doesn't look a lot like the Arrow.
Right. Well, it's not hard to see that they wanted to do Batman.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Totally. Because they didn't have the rights at that point. So
the Green Arrow, generally, at least my favorite versions from the comic books, is more funny, right? He's more of a Wally West type character. Yes. And this, they were just like, let's do Batman, but they don't give us the rights to Batman.
Very serious, like in the like you said in the comics, he's very much of like prankster almost.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But also, something that's kind of fun is not that long before this show came out.
Yeah.
There was talks of doing a show, I believe, called Wayne, which was gonna be where you get to watch Batman become Batman, essentially.
Oh, really? That'd be really cool.
So then a lot of that got rolled into Batman Begins.
Yep.
Which I think came out around this time. And I think a lot of it got rolled into this show. Right. And that's how we have like that sort of flashback dynamic. So yeah.
Makes sense.
So I have two more issues here. Okay. One is really more of a nitpick. It's one of the like, oh well, that wasn't really realistic.
Yeah.
The money transferring arrow at the end.
Yeah, that was
like,
interesting. How did he not notice the arrow on his wall?
Right. Well, there's that, but there's also like what technology has like like the arrow has to like hook up and like I don't understand how that arrow works.
That's another complaint I had.
Mm-hmm.
In the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, you see Batman in the first movie, like you said, work his way up, right? You see him starting inventing stuff, tampering stuff.
Yeah.
With the Arrow show, you see, oh, he found this warehouse.
Right.
That's a great spot. And then suddenly in the next scene, he has everything he has or needs. You
that
never see how he gets attacked. Like with Batman, you get to see him working on stuff, trying to figure things out. With the Arrow thus far, you barely ever see him trying to figure something out. He just does it and he's like, oh, we have the Arrow that can transfer me all this money. And you don't know how he got this technology because it's never been implied in the show that he's smart. Now, obviously, he kind of is like tactical.
Yeah, I don't.
But how does he have the IQ to think of something like that and to find something?
Yeah. It's not like Flash where like every character is a super like
exactly.
The Oliver Queen in the continuity of the show isn't a scientist.
Right, and he doesn't have
he's not a technician. And at this point, like I guess you have to assume that he's kind of able to steal technology stuff from his company.
But you never see him do it, is my
You never see him do it.
And like also a lot of it is very Green Arrow based. So like when he this is more of a second episode thing, but like when he gets confronted by the police chief or detective technically. He throws his arrow at him with the recording on it. If he's just buying it from his company, right? Or using his company's technology, which it also doesn't really make a lot of sense because they would know Oliver is buying a bunch of stuff. Let's say he did, they would be able to trace it back. Oh, this is Queen's technology, right? But you don't, and all the stuff that he has is very Green Arrow looking and based. So that would also be suspicious. So then that begs the question, where is he getting it from?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and like the best excuse I can think of for this, and I think it sort of comes to light a little bit in episode 3,
Yeah.
but eventually we know that he has connections to the Russian mafia.
True.
So I'm like, maybe he's getting technology from the Russian mafia. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
Was interesting. Yeah.
That is a good point that I haven't actually really thought of before. Is like, where does he get everything?
Right.
Yeah. So the last issue I have here is the whole love triangle that I think goes all throughout season 1.
Oh.
I just don't like. It's just
Really?
more annoying than anything else.
Really interesting.
Yeah. When we get to my notes on episode 2, I'll talk about that a little bit more.
Okay.
But yeah, I just don't like a love triangle in a TV show or a movie, right?
Really?
Like they always have to have like immaturity on like at least one character's part to make it actually happen.
True.
Where it's like Flash is better because like the characters I feel are a little bit more mature about this.
True.
But like here where they're like, oh, let's not tell Oliver we're dating. I'm like, that's a terrible idea.
That doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah.
Because like, why would he care? He was dead.
Right.
He can't be. First off, he was cheating on you with your sister.
Right.
So he would understand. And second, he was dead. So it's not. They're not even doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. Like there's literally no reason to hide it from him. Besides that, like that needs to make an awkward situation for the show.
Right. Which, yeah, it's unnecessary. That I will say that is unnecessary. I do like the fact that I guess this is more of a second. I'll say this for the second episode.
Okay. So right here, my moral of the episode. Can you guess what it is?
Determination.
No, the moral is don't sleep with your girlfriend's sister.
Yeah, that is a good moral. That is a good moral.
Yep. So, yeah, we talked before about doing morals. Yeah. These 2 episodes, I'm not sure if it will be easier later on, but I was like, what could be? That is a good moral of the entire show.
That
is
a good
like,
moral, yeah.
You know, be driven, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because I pulled out like determination.
Right.
Grit, I guess. But again, like you said earlier, the Flash, a lot of the episodes have like morals they're trying to portray in each story, obviously.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, these first 2 episodes, I was like, you brought it up, I was scratching my head. I was like, huh.
Or even like not necessarily explicit morals, but like, you know, sort of there's elements that you can take away from. Here I was like, it's mostly about the fights, isn't it? Yeah. Like there's not a lot of philosophy in here.
Right.
But yeah, so let's rank this episode and then we can talk about episode 2. Unless there's something you want to bring up real quick.
One more thing about this first episode that
let's hear it.
Justifies a lot of the discrepancies. I really like. And CW does this a lot, but they revealed that the mother was in shady business in the first episode. I was kind of shocked that they did that because a lot of seasons they just tried, or a lot of shows they just try to like be a secret reveal.
Yeah.
But like similar to Flash, even with Harrison Wells, they kind of did that early on or implied it. But with this one, they just came out straight off the bat and said, she's evil. So I'm really curious to see where they go with that, because does that mean there's better reveals later?
Yeah, and that's actually sort of what I was gonna say, is that they you know, it's like sort of more and more unfolds with that throughout season 1.
Right.
Yeah, which is cool.
All right, ranking.
Ranking. I gave it 5 of 10. I honestly, well, it's because watching it. Here's my justification for this. Watching it, I'm not sure that if I ran into it now, I would give episode 2 a shot. Like I think I would watch it and be like, okay, that was something I just watched.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I don't now. I think now I'm sort of second guessing that, right? Because I think like the character of Oliver is interesting enough. Right, some of the character dynamics. I like the dynamic between him and his sister. So maybe like some of that stuff would be good enough to get me to carry on.
Okay.
But also, now that I'm an adult that doesn't have a lot of time for like TV shows and that sort of thing, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm coming at this from a different perspective.
Okay.
I love shows, so I always make
Right.
time for that's like my hobby.
Sure,
It's
sure.
my comfort thing, basically.
Yeah.
So I originally thought, because like I said, my younger brother is really into like action, and I think action movies are kind of stupid. Not gonna lie, like I love fantasy and superhero, but I
Right.
think a bunch of guys with knives trying to smack each other a bunch. I've never really been
Yeah.
into that. I love fighting, so you'd think I
Mhm.
would be, but it's just
Yeah.
kind of fake. You can tell that there's a lot of fakes
Right.
about it. So I originally came into the show thinking, this is gonna be,
Mhm.
you know, but I actually really liked it, and like I'm
Yeah.
actually quite interested. I was gonna give it, and I want to give it a 9 out of 10.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, like we talked about, there just are
Yeah.
some things that are a little bit like,
Yeah.
that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give it a 7.5 to 8.
Right.
Because I honestly really did like it more
Yeah.
than I thought so. But
Uh-huh.
again, there just are some things. Where
Yeah,
the ski mask guys is like, okay, that's a
right.
little.
Yeah, I think part of the reason I did put this in like exactly mid
Okay.
is because I know how much better, at least from memory,
Okay,
later
it will get.
episodes are.
See, I don't have that
So
perspective
yeah,
though, too. So
exactly.
as is from what I
Where
thought
it's
it
like,
was going to be like, it's
mhm.
much better than I thought it was
Right.
going to be.
Because like season 2, there's so many incredible episodes in season 2.
Okay, yeah.
So, as a lot to go, let's move on to the next
episode
episode, if you are ready.
Perfect, yeah.
Honor Thy Father. That is the title of episode 2.
Yes.
So,
Ooh,
good
I
name.
oh my goodness. There's some things I really liked about this episode.
Yeah.
This episode was definitely better than the first one.
Yeah. Actually, on my list of things I don't like,
Yeah.
I have one thing, and it's kind of a nitpick.
I have only a couple things on this
Okay,
one. Let's
yeah,
start
yeah.
with that then.
Well, should we jump straight to dislikes, or should we do likes first? We could just get dislikes out of the way.
Let's just get dislikes out of the way. Out of the way.
So the one thing, and this is, I teased earlier that I would talk about this, but the Oliver Laurel romance is just boring to me. Like, it's just, there's nothing in it that like feels like interesting to me, or like
As a romance.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that. That was actually gonna be my complaint too.
Like, it feels very sort of plastic.
Agreed.
Where it's like, because like some actors, right, you put the right two actors together and you're like, oh, okay, you can tell they kind of have fun with each other, and then you can buy the romance.
Right.
I feel like these actors didn't have that, and that's part of the problem. Yeah.
And the thing is with Lance and what's his Oliver's friend? Tommy.
Yeah.
There's this thing where like they seem to despise each other, and then they're like, oh, let's go hook up. And like I don't see any chemistry, because like I actually see a little bit of chemistry maybe between her and Oliver, or like anti-chemistry, where like she despises him,
right?
And I get that, right?
Yeah.
Or like in the second episode, they have some, a little bit of chemistry, right? I can see it a little bit, or accept it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the best. Well, her and Tommy, I don't understand.
Okay.
Like those actors, like I don't see anything about that.
What's interesting to me is that I kind of buy her and Tommy just a little bit more.
Really? What?
And the reason is, I think, because Tommy has fun, right? And like,
well, Oliver used to, though.
Right. Well, and I think it's just sort of like the sort of Twilight kind of romance, where it's like, it's like they both kind of can't stand each other, but like they keep falling back to each other, and I just don't buy that type of romance, where it's like Tommy, he has some like jokey lines with her, which feels like a lot more of a
really. I just don't like it. I just
don't
like it.
Overall, I don't like any of the romances, right?
Well, okay.
At least like of that triangle. Yeah.
I don't know. So. I'm actually quite interested to see what they do with Laurel Lance and Oliver Queen. But,
Yeah.
Something that I disliked
Okay.
about this, and my main one, was the inspector.
Mm-hmm.
I get that character. I understand that, he's a character that's very, like, not interested in any new ideas or stuff. But
Yeah.
I understand he's a protective dad, but
Mm-hmm.
they're really over milking that
Yeah.
severely to the point where it's like, yes, she's your daughter, so you're going to try to
Mm-hmm.
protect her, and you're going to make stupid choices to do that,
Mm-hmm.
or send police officers or stuff like that. And I understand that he's not necessarily the nicest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
You don't trust your daughter at all. Like, you send cops on her. That's not very nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But something that is, like, really stupid to me is when he's, like, sitting with her in his room. Is like, you're not going to be doing this case anymore. You're not going to be this. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
the character doesn't live with you. She's a woman who
Right.
lives on her own, right? And they're arguing like it's a the whole conversation felt like a teenager conversation.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's an attorney who lives on her own. Like, I understand if you're going to do weird stuff like protect her in public, but, like, what do you, like, it seems weird that you're having this conversation about telling her what she can and can't do with her life, and telling her, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
lock you up in
scene.
jail. That's like, it feels like it's a teenager.
That scene was a bit much.
That's
And
like,
I think that is sort of the thing with, like, because the CW is largely, they make shows for teenagers and young adults.
sure.
So I think this is sort of like an element of that. And I'm sure we'll see more elements like that moving forwards, where it's like,
Right.
oh, this is just like teenage angst gain in there, you know?
It feels like he's treating Lance, or Mrs. Lance, with the same way that Oliver is treating his younger sister.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand the little sister thing, but it's like, it's really cringy to me. And he's like,
yeah,
you can't do this and this and this. And it's like, but remember when you did this? And it feels like she's not a teenager.
right.
Like, this is the weird thing to
Yeah. With that being said, I like that character.
I love
like,
the officer.
Yeah.
He's a great character. It was just that one scene.
Yeah.
I was, like, kind of cringe on him.
For sure. So on the things I did like.
Okay, yep.
The first thing I have is towards the beginning. Like, he hangs the bad guy up upside down, and we get an upside down camera shot of like him opening his eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a really cool shot. I love that.
For sure.
And then, like, also like the arrow cutting his cheek in that same scene was very fun. So like that, which I think, was that the opening shot? Can't remember now. It may have been.
It feels like a lot of the shots. I know I keep bringing Batman up, but it really feels like the Batman Begins. A lot of the shots feel the same, or like they're trying to recreate some of those shots.
Yeah, I
where
could
it's like,
definitely
where he's upside
see.
down, he's walking, and it's like dark and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy this show more than Batman Begins, but
probably Batman Begins was kind of mid, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I have a very complicated
Liam
relationship.
Neeson's great about that movie, but everything else is kind of like, eh.
I have a very complicated relationship with that entire trilogy.
Now the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I like the Dark Knight. I like all three of the movies. The Dark Knight is good.
Yeah.
I don't like what the trilogy does for like the sort of public understanding of the character.
Right. Because not at all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the issue I have with it, is like,
well, I also didn't want anything supernatural, and therefore it cut off, a lot of options.
We can have Ra's al Ghul, but there's no Lazarus Pit, the whole 9 yards.
Something I really liked, and I know you're going to disagree with this.
Okay.
I loved how Oliver went back to I love the dynamic where he tells Laura Lance to stay away, and then he goes back to her because he kind of regrets. Like, I love this, and I know you're going to disagree with this.
Okay.
Yeah. But, like, I really do like this whole thing where, like, he wants to stay away from her, but he also wants to be with her still. And I love the aspect where he, like, was thinking about her on the island and felt bad for, well, one, he felt guilty for killing her sister, and two, he realized that he actually does love her. And then this whole thing where he, like, actually does start opening up to her.
Yeah.
I really do like that whole thing. I know you're probably going to disagree with that.
Yeah, well,
but I do actually really like
I think if they had more chemistry, I would be able to get more on board with it.
They do need to work on that a little bit.
Since they don't, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like, he's like, there's a joke that I once heard about Twilight where it's like, the characters, like, whenever they're on screen together, they act like the other one just like let out a big old fart. But like if you look at their faces, they're always like.
To be fair, they do have some stuff to be angry at each other.
Sure,
about.
sure.
Sorry. There's one other thing I liked about that one scene.
Okay, go for it. Let's hear it.
When Diggle, when they get attacked and Diggle defends them, I
Yeah.
love the power scaling
Yeah.
or ranking in this because Oliver doesn't just come out like in Batman Begins. He kind of just comes out and he's just like as good as his teacher. Like, how is he as good as Ralph already?
Right.
In this one, he comes out and he's like he's struggling against maybe a lesser strong opponent. Like I forget her name. But, like she's very skilled, right? And it's a thing where Oliver Queen might be tougher and stronger than her, but he's not as skilled, and you can see that in the fight. And I really appreciate that. I love the Diggle fight though, because it shows a lot of times what they do with these security guards or side characters is they try to make them appear tough and bigger than like, oh, Diggle could be up a bunch of gangsters, right? But then when it comes to main villains like this, they just get like dog walked basically. And I love that he actually like he obviously lost or losing, but I like the fact that he actually like put up fight and it was like entertaining. Because I feel like it gave Diggle credit to the fact like, oh, he's real. Like he can actually do some harm. Or in the future, he could actually save Oliver Queen, right? It's not this thing where, oh, he's just this loser bodyguard, right? He's just this big brood. And he saves him once. But it actually shows him Diggle has some skill, right? It's not just all muscle.
Yeah. Well, because he was like a military guy.
Right. And I also like the fact that he notices Oliver Queen's skill with the throwing knife.
Right. Yeah.
That's his perception.
I have that note actually on here. But yeah, I liked that because like a theme that pops up in these earlier episodes is like Diggle realizing Oliver isn't the Oliver he's putting on.
True.
And this is sort of I think the start of that, and it's really cool. And it sort of segues really good into the sort of brother relationship that I previously mentioned.
Right.
The next note I have though is I sort of thought it was funny that Oliver's excuse for running off was he was like, "Oh, I have a secret girlfriend."
That is funny.
So yeah, it just sort of made me chuckle a little bit.
That makes sense too, because they would believe that as well.
Right. Yeah. So I wrote that down there.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have anything else? Or should I just jump down to my next note?
Yeah, jump down to your next note.
Okay.
That's good.
Diggle, his sort of spiel about like home is a battlefield with Oliver Queen. Again, love Diggle, love the sort of like bonding between him and Oliver and the relationship they have and what it leads to and all that.
Right.
So there's that. And then the next thing I have is the previously mentioned throwing the kitchen knife.
Yes. I love that Diggle notices things like that.
Right.
And like again, he notices. He's like, "You're not who you say you are."
Right.
I really do like that
and
a lot.
He's just played so great
it's
by a man who has the same name as Dave Ramsey.
Really?
David Ramsey is that actor, which is very funny.
That's funny.
Because he doesn't look like David Ramsey.
He does not look like David Ramsey at all.
Yeah. So yeah, the next thing down I have is the recording arrow. Yeah, we talked about how it doesn't necessarily make sense, but I liked how he threw the arrow at him. Lance is like, "Oh no, he's attacking me." He looks back, he disappears. He's like, "Oh, there's a recording." Beep.
Right.
That it's a very cool sort of Batman moment. Right. In the next note, I just have end. I don't know what I was talking about, but I guess. It was just the mom.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That was good. That they kept on that storyline a little bit.
Right, and I love like what you would call in a TV show is like the end page tease, the end page reveal. Right. I really love that whenever TV shows sort of have that, which like Marvel, in their movies utilizes very well with like their after credits scene. which was also rolled into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yep.
where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has like a mid-credit scene. Anyway, I'm just a big fan of like that sort of storytelling where it's like, look at this mystery that's unfolding in the background, or like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did good with that. Again, I love the flashbacks that they kept doing. I love the the fight between him and the female villain. I forget her name. Again, that one, like, I like the power scaling, but it was also a little. That was the main one. I was like, this is a little bit cringe because like you can tell it's very planted.
Yeah.
Very like foot for foot, step for step, like backflip here. It's like you would not actually do that. Like,
I can see that. Yeah.
But the rest of it, again, Officer Lance, or I guess detective. That whole exchange was fantastic.
Yeah. It's interesting. Well, first tell me if you don't want a teeny tiny spoiler.
I don't care.
Okay. So that character is actually a bad guy in the flashback story of, I believe, season 5. So
Really?
Yeah, so watching this episode, I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, these conflicts aren't actually that far apart because, 5 was the last year on the island. So I'm like, I sort of want to, maybe I'll remember when we get that far.
Yeah, that would be
cool. But like, sort of thinking about how like this leads into that, did like they sort of,
did they know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Like, and I don't think they probably knew they were gonna do that. But it would be interesting to see how much it makes sense, right? I was trying to see like if when she first saw Oliver, like if there was any hint of her recognizing him. Which I didn't really get any sense of that because she's just like, oh, move away from the guy. Or I guess she even saw him as Oliver.
Does she know
prior to that.
Green Arrow? Probably.
I don't remember, honestly. But
yeah, that'll be something interesting to find out.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to hear my moral.
Yeah. What's your moral?
I wrote IDK, honor your dad.
Yeah. Oh, that is the thing I'll finish with about this episode. The thing I loved about this episode.
Okay.
When he's looking at the gravestone, right? And there's that whole thing about how his sister takes him out there and says, I barely know you. I was closer to you. I love that whole exchange where I feel like I was closer to you because you're being so distant. Open up. Right?
Yeah.
When he goes to the end and he says, I forget how he says it, but he says basically, I promise to honor your memory, or sorry, to honor your wish, which means I'll sometimes have to disgrace your memory, is basically what he said. And I love that thing or idea because his name is this prominence, good old two shoes, like businessman, wealthy, loves people, loves handshaking people, loves cameras, right? But in order for Oliver to kill off all those people or to have justice for his city, he has to dishonor his father's legacy, basically. What his father put out in public. And I love that idea, and I love that it ends that way.
Yeah, it's very like sort of like, I don't know, poetic moment. And I do like it's very much the Bruce Wayne thing as well, where it's like he kind of has to act like a jerk sometimes just to
keep up appearances.
Keep up appearances and stuff like that. And I think that's an interesting sort of character. And I do want to say, I didn't make any notes of it, but I think the relationship between Oliver and his sister, him and Thea, I just really liked. Like, I think their relationship is really interesting.
Well, it's funny because she's making all the mistakes he did, and he's being picky about it. And she's like, "Why are you being picky about it? Right, you were the exact same as me."
Yeah.
Before you went to the island.
Yeah, it's also interesting because, how old she is in the show.
Yeah.
Is how old my younger sister is, roughly.
Oh, now. Really?
So there's there's just like a little bit of like, I mean, obviously my sister's not doing drugs or any of these things. Yeah. Hopefully. But there's a little bit of like just like relatability to it, where it's like I feel like I kind of understand that relationship.
Yeah, no, that's really
which
cool.
is fun. So yeah.
So my moral, again, I forgot to think about this.
Right.
It's again, it's really tough because like, I would just say the moral would be like, opening up.
That's actually
like,
a good one for this one.
Yeah, like I think there's a better way of saying it, like opening up or like letting people in.
Right.
And I understand his position, but I think that's a good moral to take from it.
Yeah.
What's your rating?
My rating for this one is 6 of 10.
6. Okay.
Yeah. So this one I liked a little bit better.
Lower than mine.
I know.
It doesn't
and
make any sense.
I think again it's just because I look forward and I'm like, oh, but those later episodes are so much better.
I don't know that, so I'm just rating it from a standalone episode. I hope 0.5s are okay.
Okay. 8.5. Sure. I'll accept it.
I think it's at least a full
point
better than the first one.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot less weird scenes.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was just a little bit better. There's more power scaling. There was just more getting to know the characters better.
For sure.
So I'm gonna put it at that. Again, because like 10 for me is like the best it could absolutely be.
Right. Yeah.
And that's gonna be tough to get.
And yeah, it will be interesting to see. I bet would it be funny if it does like a 180 and like I'm like, oh, this episode is a 10 and you're like, really? This was like
what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It might happen. But also we're watching it from different perspectives.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have a little bit more knowledge on the show.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen.
And that's what I'm excited about for this moving forward is because like
totally.
Not only do I get to like be nostalgic and remember, but also, I get to like sort of peek into your world of like having still an interesting perspective.
Right. Where perspective.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be that way for the Flash too, because we've both seen it, but towards the later episodes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be watching it for the second or third time.
Right. Yeah. So, anyway,
cool.
That's that. These episodes, there is always something charming to me about first episode.
Oh yeah.
Where you can tell like everyone's not quite comfortable in their characters they're acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not even bad, right? It kind of makes it funner to watch almost.
Right, because they're figuring it out. They're testing the waters.
So yeah, I always have that sort of like, oh, this is fun because like they don't know who they are yet.
Right.
But yeah, thank you.
Where their characters are going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, I'm excited where this is going to go. I'm excited for next week.
Yep.
I'm excited for who knows how many weeks before we get to the Flash and that side of things.
Probably, but
yeah,
it'll be good experience.
Cool. But yeah, and subscribe to the Eccentric Academy YouTube channel. If you find this on a podcast platform, it will probably be a little bit in the future when I figure out how to do that, but follow it there, I guess. Bye-bye.
Bye.